The call came while I was tightening the last button on the shirt my mother insisted I wear, the simple one, because anything nicer would overshadow the spirit of a humble backyard wedding. Her voice trembled on the other end. Not grief, not joy. Guilt. "Sweetheart, your sister just sent pictures. Isn't her wedding beautiful?" I paused. Pictures? She was already married 2 years ago. A courthouse ceremony. Cheap flowers. That's what they told me. What they swore they could barely afford. My heartbeat didn't rise. It flattened. "Mom?" I said. "What wedding?" Silence. A long one. The kind that warns you a truth is about to slip out, naked and bloody. "It was nothing extravagant," she whispered. "Just something small. A gift we wanted to give her." A gift. I stared at myself in the mirror, my collar crooked, the backyard lights flickering through the window like interrogation lamps. Something inside me tilted, a small but permanent shift. Because I could hear it in her tone, that thin thread of panic people get when a secret starts breathing on its own. "I'll see you soon," I said, and I hung up before the lie could grow any larger. The backyard smelled like cut grass and compromise. My parents stood near the plastic chairs, white, flimsy, rented. They looked proud of the simplicity, proud of the intimacy they'd pushed on me for months. "It's better this way," they'd said. "Don't waste money," they'd said. "You're not the type who needs a big show," they'd said. I believed them. Or maybe I wanted to. But now every word replayed with new sharpness, like a confession hidden inside a compliment. My sister appeared near the buffet table, laughing, her dress shimmering in the subtle way expensive things try to pretend they're modest. She avoided my eyes, too quickly, too deliberately. There it was, the second crack. Later, while she pretended to fix her makeup, I leaned against the doorframe of the dim hallway inside the house. My voice stayed level. "Mom mentioned pictures." She froze, barely, but I saw it, the twitch of a lie preparing to run. "Oh, that," she said. "Just a little ceremony. Barely anything." "Barely anything," I repeated. Yet her bracelet glinted. Real diamonds, not the imitation ones my mother insisted were practical for my fiancé. Something cold uncoiled in my chest. Not anger, not sadness. Awareness. I didn't push further. I didn't accuse. I simply nodded. Because panic reveals itself without help. And guilt always finishes the job. For the next week, I moved like a shadow inside my own life. Calm, predictable, unthreatening. But underneath, every thought sharpened into interrogation. I found the photos first, tagged, then quickly untagged but not fast enough. My sister at a marble altar, 12 bridesmaids, chandeliers like frozen lightning, a venue that cost more than my parents claimed they made in an entire year. Then the receipts, buried in a shared cloud account my mother never learned to properly lock. Invoices from caterers, decorators, designers, half my college fund, all the savings they said went to bills. Everything they claimed they simply didn't have when I asked if we could afford a small indoor venue so my fiancé's grandmother could attend. They lied. Not once. Not accidentally. Deliberately. I didn't confront them. I didn't scream, demand, question. I just gathered everything, sorted it, printed it, and waited. People reveal their guilt when they think the world is quiet. So I kept it quiet. I let them sleep comfortably in their deception, unaware that every breath they took was building toward the moment they'd choke on the truth. I chose the living room, bright, open, nowhere to hide. I placed the folder on the table, thin, unassuming, and sat across from my parents. "Open it," I said. My father frowned, confused, then slid out the first receipt. His face drained. My mother's hand tightened on her knee. Pictures spilled out next. The ballroom, the floral archway, the designer dress she bought on sale for my sister. My sister stepped into the room at the wrong time. Her knees actually buckled. "You knew," I said quietly. "All of you." My mother reached for words, but they died in her throat. My father swallowed hard. My sister covered her mouth, trembling. "You told me we couldn't afford anything," I continued. "You said it would be selfish to want more." My voice stayed steady, ice on still water. My mother whispered, "We didn't think you'd mind." That was the moment she understood. The moment she realized I had never been the quiet one. I had only been patient. I stood, leaving the folder open like a crime scene. "I won't be having the backyard ceremony," I said. My mother gasped. "But everything is planned." "Not anymore." I turned to my sister. "You had your dream wedding, paid for with money they told me didn't exist. So now, you'll help pay for mine." Her eyes widened. I don't have." "You will," I said.
or I show these receipts to every relative who believed your modest fairy tale version." She broke then, a soft, pathetic collapse. My father tried to speak, but I raised a hand. "No more lies, no more guilt, no more pretending you did your best." Silence swallowed the room. I didn't shout, I didn't threaten, I simply reclaimed what they stole. I left the house with the folder tucked under my arm, the winter air biting clean lines across my skin. For the first time in years, my mind felt quiet. Not peaceful, just empty of their noise. I walked to the car and paused, hearing nothing behind me. No apologies, no explanations. Good. They finally understood the version of me they created, someone who learned to listen, observe, and wait for the right moment to strike. As I started the engine, a single thought settled in my chest, solid and irrevocable. They taught me how to endure. Now they'll learn how I end things. And for the first time, the silence felt like power. I drove away without looking back.